Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out looking for treasure, like what you see before you: gold, silver, jewelry, silverware, hollowware. And when I look for these things, I'm always looking for these things at secondhand locations like thrift shops, garage sales, and I don't pay much for anything. That's really a big part of the fun for me. So what I'm going to do today is actually go through part two. My children are home, and what I'd like to do is actually create a treasure pile that I can actually make a little intro for my YouTube videos. Apparently I'm supposed to have a nice little intro, so we're going to see if we can't make that happen. I'm not much of a editor, but I do feel like I should be able to make a nice little background here as we go through and pile up our treasure and figure out where pieces go and make a nice little picture for our intro. So that's what this is. This is definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea for a video, so no worries if you decide that you either want to skip through this video or just skip it altogether. I hope you still look at some of my other content, which is a little more educational. Now, as I go through and lay stuff out, I'm going to continue to talk about each piece, where I got it, why I bought it, and what it is. So as we continue through here, in the last video we had some pearls and we were trying to find some way to arrange them in a pretty way, which is why we were using our little Japanese cups here. So I think I like that so far. Now, that's not to say it's going to stay that way, but we're going to just continue on through here. And I'm going to close the door for a moment because my washing machine is running, or dryer, or whatever it is. Okay, so we've talked about this, and I'm still trying to figure out where I should put that. I like that, but I don't like that. Can it go nestled in there? Will that be pretty? No, we're gonna have to, you know what we need to do? We need to put something else inside of that to make that look right. How about we grab, will this fit? Kind of covers up a little more than I would like of the background. We'll talk about what this is though in a moment. Maybe this will go in there. And then ooh, what do we think? So this is a variation on flower arranging. It's treasure arranging, and all of you have just turned off this video now. But for those of you who are staying, what I just put in here, and we'll talk about this, I actually like how this turned out. This is my favorite Christmas tree ornament. Well, that's not true. This isn't my favorite Christmas tree ornament. This is the favorite Christmas tree ornament that I have personally discovered or found. My favorite Christmas tree ornaments are actually things that my grandpa carved. But this particular piece, if we zoom in here, it's kind of interesting because the center piece is more like 11 karat gold, and the outer piece is more like 10 karat, or like 9 karat, between 9 and 10 karat. It's a situation where this was a custom made piece, and it is filled with symbolism, as all of these Freemason pieces are. At some point when I can learn more, we'll maybe try to make some Freemason videos, and we'll talk about what's going on with some of this stuff. But in this case, if you flip it over here, you can see, and I think I have had this in a previous video. In fact, I think most of the stuff has been in videos at some point, but we have presented to past Thrice Potent Master, illustrious, I think, Brother Charles Raymond Harper, by Williamsport Lodge of Perfection, 14 degrees, May 31st, 1944. Now, it is unmarked as to its gold content, but I have confirmed through XRF testing that it is gold. It's a couple different pieces of gold on it. But yeah, this is definitely one of the coolest things I think I ever managed to score off of an eBay auction. And it was interesting, I got this and another piece of, one of the other pieces of gold that's around here somewhere were in an auction, and I think I only had to give like $60 for the whole auction. So as you might imagine, that was quite the exciting day for me. Okay, so we're gonna put this back in here, and then we're going to put our ring right there. Oh, yeah. I like that. I like our little treasure arranging here. I guess the question is, are there other rings that should go in there? Yeah. We will get to this, I promise. Let's see if these two rings can go in. Oh, maybe that can go in too. We will continue to fill in treasure on this pile. The stuff that I'm grabbing initially here are the things that I'm most excited by in all of my different finds. I'm not sure. I think this will go in here. Now, this is fun. One of the things that I've found a lot of is white gold. And the reason you find a lot of white gold at garage sales and thrift shops is people just don't realize it's gold. They think it's silver at best, or not even that. And this is, I think, like a little hand carved. I think this was probably a men's wedding ring. And you can see it's just a really nice design. But if you zoom in here, you've got, assuming my camera plays nice, 18 karat. So that is 75% gold. And being 18 karat, I think this one was also mixed with platinum mostly to achieve the white color. The lower karat gold, like this ring over here, which is 10 karat white gold as opposed to 18 karat white gold, I think this is mixed with more like nickel and silver. And then generally, when you see the 18 karat gold, it'll be mixed more with like platinum or palladium to achieve the white color, because white gold is a different alloy. You know, if you're looking at yellow gold, so this is 15 karat yellow gold. So this is what is that, like 40? It's like 46% gold. And then there's a lot of copper in there to maintain the gold color. And if you get too much copper in it, you end up with something like, well, too much. That's not, maybe that's not the right word. If you use more copper than like a mix. So here we have like a piece of 9 karat gold. So this is there's less gold in this and more copper in that, which is why you have less of a gold color and more of a rosy color. And that's how you get rose gold as opposed to white gold, or, you can get kind of any color if you really work at it. Green gold and purple gold and all sorts of different colors of gold if you mix them with the correct things. In any case, let's go ahead and set this over here. We're off on a tangent. But yeah, this was at a thrift shop. I don't know, I think I paid $2 for it. It was in the ring bin. But let's see, will that go nicely right there? I like how that's coming out. And then this I got recently, and I just did a video on it. I will try to put a little pip right there to direct you to that video. And this guy, very excited about, despite it missing, as you can see, there's missing one of the stones. But the other stones are opals, looks like little crystal opals, I think. And then the other stones are diamonds. And they're not super faceted. I forget, somebody told me what that kind of low grade of faceting is. But they do test as diamonds. So we've got diamonds and opals in this beautiful little hand-carved ring. And as I mentioned a moment ago, this one's fun because it's 15 karat. The only marking is on the inside there. it is that marking right there, which is upside down for you. Yep, 15 karat. Yep, okay. You can do it, camera. There it is, 15 karat. But yeah, I think this is a really cool piece. And I think, and I'd love for someone to correct me on this, but I think it's probably Victorian. From what I could find, that was the most likely time. Although I found some things online that said it might be a little older, might predate Queen Victoria. But for the purposes of our picture, we need to find a nice spot for it. And I'm thinking right here, if we can get it right. Haha. Yes. All right. Speaking of opals, tie tacks are fun. Now, when you're at thrift shops and you're at garage sales or any location that has ties, like a bunch of ties in a box, a bunch of ties on a rack, whatever, check them. Because sometimes you will find tie tacks that some dude left in his tie. Oftentimes, there will be ties that are still tied, and those are the ones that I've always found tie tacks in. I think I found 2 gold tie tacks. This is one of them, and there's another one with a little diamond in it that I found. But I have found quite a few, like tie bars and other cheap tie down. What would you call? I mean, tie clips, tie tacks, other jewelry stuck in ties. So it happens. And this one I think is also, unless I'm mistaken, this is another crystal opal. It's a nice little opal. Opals are so cool. They do not show up right on this camera. They are so much more beautiful than this actually can portray. But we're just going to tuck that little opal right in there. Ah! All right. We can make this work. And I'm guessing that if you're still watching this, you're either laughing at me or just wondering why on earth is this dude arranging jewelry on a YouTube video in this way. And the answer is because it's fun. I don't know if it's fun to watch. This is probably going to be my least watched video ever, but it's fun to do it. Is that showing up right? I would like to make sure that I'm properly displaying these rings. There we go. That goes in there. All right, and then we're just going to drop that right there. You know what I need is tweezers. There we go. Okay, so let us use these. I usually use these for anyone else have family members who like to pull the you know, the little ties that you can tie down your hoodie with, or your sweatpants. There's the little string, and then your children always invariably end up pulling that out. That's what these are for. I like to pull these out and snake them in, and then I can replace it. Okay. I am pleased with that effect. Perfect. Okay. Now I promised I would talk about this one, and I will definitely talk about that now. This is a 14 karat, that little badge in the middle, and then sterling silver, and that is the Huguenot cross, which were and are French Christians. And there's quite a lot of history there. You can go into it online if you look up Huguenot Christians, and that's what this symbol means. And this particular piece is you got your sterling there, and then you've got BB and B, which is, and I want to get it right, so I'm going to grab a box I found. I've got a box here. Oh no. I am such a klutz. Okay. I've got a box here, and it is Bailey, Banks, and Biddle. And they are the outfit that made, at one point, I think they designed and made a lot of our American medals. So if you were a heroic soldier that got, I think most of our medals actually at one point were designed and made by them. So yeah, they're very very prestigious, very historical maker. And this, I think, is the badge for the Huguenot Society's president. At least when I got on their website, you could buy something very similar to this with this starburst. If you were the president, you were allowed to buy it when I checked on the website. So let's see if we can find some good place to put that. Haha! That is, to my eye, a pleasing place to put that little piece of treasure. Okay, let's see. So now we are filling in this side nicely. I do like where this is. We may just throw some more gold in there just to fill it up with gold. This guy, is that going to be a centerpiece? I don't think I want that in the middle. I think I want something else. Yes, so we'll talk about what's in there in a moment. We'll pull out this guy. Is that going to go there? Haha, I feel like our treasure pile is starting to come together. What do you think? We're going to need something that goes here. Gonna need something. Yes, maybe. I feel like we're gonna have a problem with this corner over here being a little bit empty. Gonna need something down there. What's gonna go there? Aha, got it. Our Finnish piece. This one's cool. So these are Finnish hallmarks. Do I have them upside down? And this isn't sterling. It is, in fact, as you can see in the middle there, 819 silver. So it's 81.9% silver. And it's a little creamer, I think, people have told me. And the reason I picked it up was because when you're looking at silver and you're out and about, one of the first things is always the weight. If it's solid silver like this, 819 silver, or sterling, or 900 silver, or 800 silver, something like that, generally there's going to be less material involved in it. And then you're going to see things like, pardon me, you're going to see things like this. You see how this edge has this beautiful pattern on it? But that beautiful pattern is actually just part of the whole piece. It's not applied. It's not a piece that's put on it. It's part of this whole, the whole bowl, if you will. That kind of work is something you're typically only going to find on a solid piece like this. So when I found it, I said, I don't know what these markings mean. Maybe they are plate markings, but for $10, I came home with it, and I was very pleased that I did once. Well, I ended up finding what it was about the same time that one of my wonderful subscribers actually told me what it was. So let's see. I think, where are we with our, oh man, I must have knocked this. Did I knock it? Ah, no, I didn't knock it. It just has to be at that exact spot. Okay. Will this one go here? Yeah, I feel like we're good to go there. All right. So now we are filling in our treasure pile. Obviously, I have jumped ahead and put a bunch of things on here that I haven't told you about. So at this point, we'll be talking about them. Let's see. Where are we? Well, we talked about this guy. We got some rings in here. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's just go ahead and grab these belt buckles. This is I think this is a Montana agate set in this buckle. I think it goes like that right there. And this is sterling. See right there. And my grandpa gave me this. He is, I come from a long line of hoarders and garage sailors. It's funny, I didn't really get to know my grandpa very much when I was young, but turns out that I come by this hoarding and garage sailing genetically, because I never knew he did it until, much later in life, and I was already firmly in the garage sailing and hoarding business, as I am today in the pausing this video and coughing business. I apologize for all these little jumps. So yeah, he was recently having just clearing out stuff, and my brother was down helping him to have a gigantic garage sale, and he picked this out and said that I would like it, and I do indeed love this. And I would love if somebody could correct me if this is like not a Montana agate. I don't know what kind of agate it might be, but I'm definitely thinking it's an agate of some variety. So I'd like to have this here. Oh, you know what though? We'll show you this. So this is just a dish. I like to use this for holidays, for like pickles. I think I've mostly used pickles in it. When I bought this though, this was at a thrift shop, and it was a couple dollars, I think. And it was black, just utterly black and filthy. Didn't look anything like this. I've polished and polished and polished this thing, and it still has quite a lot of black in the lower places. I really like how it looks now, but yeah, it is sterling, and I just find this they call it, I think, repousse, where it's the pattern is pounded into it, just to be really, really quite pretty. It's one of my favorite things. We're just going to go ahead and put that there for now. I found this one, and I believe this is, what did somebody tell me? It's Navajo. And each one of these little pieces is sterling, and it's all laid and then put into this pattern. This one is unmarked. There are no markings on it, but I have tested it and confirmed that it is sterling. And I actually, I can link it. Maybe I can put a pip there. We'll see if I can manage that. But it was in a very unlikely place at the thrift shop not too long ago. That was a very good day when I found this one. I still can't believe it was where it was, but it was, and now it's mine. So that's a belt buckle I quite like. Where are we going to set these? Oh, you know what? My voice just totally gives out. Where do we go here? No. Okay. So can this go as a background piece? What do you think? Right there. Yeah. Something like that. Aha, perfect. Okay. So those are two buckles. So we're gonna need to put something here, but we also need to talk about other things that I've put on here. And we're gonna need to find some way to prop up the rings so that they all look right. Let's grab, let's see, what should we grab next? Well, we should talk about what I pulled out here. This is one of my all-time favorite spoons. I always pull this one out for mashed potatoes. This is the House Dunlop. And on the back here, we have proper British hallmarks. In fact, a whole set of them. This is the maker. I don't recall who the maker was off the top of my head. You have your little lion there, which indicates that this is, in fact, sterling. The little jaguar head, little jaguar with a crown, I think that's what that is. Jaguar. And that indicates London. So this was made in London. The Q with that particular shape around it indicates, I want to say 1802. Was it 1802 or 1804? Very early, either 1802 or 1804. And that is the Mad King George that we, in America, rebelled against. And then this, I believe, is I think they called them a journeyman's mark. And what that indicates is that whoever was making this piece for this maker actually wasn't directly employed by that maker, was actually doing things on a piece-by-piece basis. So when they completed one of the pieces that they were making, they would put their own personal mark on it, and that way they could get paid for what they did, and it was a quality control measure. And I believe that's what that mark means. Now, I don't know if that can be traced back to who specifically made this. I'm hoping someday that is the case. But this was in a big old box of silver plate and actually a fair bit of like sterling and other pieces that you'll see me pull out came in this box. And it was at one of those stores where you pay by the pound. So this was a very, very exciting find for me. And it has now served in three Christmases, I think, for serving our mashed potatoes. And then we will show this one here real quick too. We'll figure out where those are going to go in a second. This one is also very exciting. This is actually coin silver, 90%. It's not 925 sterling, and it is a cool little gargoyle pattern, and it's not marked as coin silver. It is, in fact, and this is gold wash. That's why it looks kind of gold on there. A little bit of gold plating on it. But this is, that's patented March 1880. And it is Vanderslice & Co., San Francisco. So this is one of the very few West Coast American silversmiths. And they relocated out there for the gold rush. And this is probably made out of silver out of the Comstock lode. So like much of our, many of our Morgan dollars, I believe, the silver probably came from the same spot, which I just find super duper cool. We'll put those into our treasure pile here in a second. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite things, and that was $2 at a thrift shop because it's not marked. And that happens, especially with American coin silver. You end up in a situation where unmarked things end up just flying under the radar. All right. Is that going to be a good spot for that? I think so. Alrighty then, let us continue with what we're trying to accomplish here, which is to build something beautiful as a background for my children to yell, Dragon Co-Pirate. Excuse me, a Crow Dragon Pirate over. Let's see, I put some stuff here. Let's pull those out. This one was a big surprise to me. That's not going to work, is it? Yeah, we'll do that. Perfect. Okay. This one was a big surprise to me. I at that store where you pay by the pound, I grabbed a little tin full of thimbles, and now there are. In fact, I've got some of them here too. Maybe these will go into the treasure also. Silver thimbles are something that's definitely a thing, and silver and gold. This is a gold band around a silver thimble. So I was aware that silver thimbles existed, but what I didn't realize was that you could also find solid gold thimbles. And that's what this guy is. So I pulled this one out of there and I'm like, this is interesting. I thought it was silver at first, and I'm like, why does it look like this? And then I looked inside, and there you go. 10 karat, and it is in fact a 10 karat gold thimble. And as it turns out, these things were actually quite popular. And if you have someone in your life who enjoys sewing, and you want to find for them a princely gift that is functional, because it is 10 karat, it is a hardy thing. You can still use this. And the nice thing too is, if you know their size, these things will generally have the size stamped in them. So they're all over online auctions. And if you want a really nice, very surprising gift for someone who sews in your life, definitely look into these. I'm going to set that there for now. We'll grab this. And this is fun. This is an old, I think this is an old watch chain. Obviously it had something else on it at some point. But the cool thing about this is it's 9 karat gold. So there's that heft to it that you just don't get without something being gold. And I just really, well, I mean, you can tell from my channel name that there is a bit of that dragon sickness in me. And I'll tell you, the gold, there's just gold. It's gold. And where are we going to put this one? I like this, and I want to drape it somewhere where we're definitely showing off that we got some gold. Right there. Does that work? I think that works. All right, gold chain. Perfect. Okay. So we got some gold sitting there. So we're going to need to fill this up with something too, won't we? This is, boy, if I had to pick, this ring, this 15 karat ring definitely tickles me. But prior to the 15 karat ring, this was my favorite chunk of gold. For a couple reasons. One, it's got the gold heft, and it's got the gold heft. And I just realized I've been talking for 35 minutes here, so we're gonna wrap up this video after I talk about the gold heft. But this one took a little bit of figuring out, and what it actually is Etruscan Revival. And you can date the piece to a certain degree by the latch, probably like 1890s, and you can tell because of how the latch was made, in that we're looking at maybe 1880s, because we have another one of these, and I talked about this I think in the previous video, but you have another one of these handmade safety latches. So the jeweler who made this piece actually made this latch by hand, and then later on, all of the like, if I just pull something out, the mass-produced latches became the thing that you would grab if you were a jeweler, because this is a pain in the neck to make something like this. And then also, see how the pin extends off of the end here? That went out of fashion, and the pin got shorter than the pins, or shorter than the face of it at some point. So you can date this probably like 1880s, definitely Victorian. Is what I'm getting at. The Y threw me for a loop for a while, but I did eventually figure that one out. And what was happening during the Victorian period was they were digging up all of these like tombs, you know, Egyptian tombs and Viking tombs and Etruscan tombs. And people are like, that jewelry's cool, I want it. But I mean, there was not enough jewelry out of these tombs to go around. So even if you were rich enough to buy something that came out of the tomb that was genuine Viking or Egyptian or Etruscan gold jewelry, there just wasn't enough. So jewelers were taking those old patterns and they were making it, which is why we call this Etruscan Revival, because it was a revival of that old-fashioned jewelry. Now, this is interesting. This one is 50% gold, which I can't remember. It's like, what's the carat of 50% gold? I forget what it is, because 14 is 58%, so 14 karat gold. So this is like 12 karat gold, something like that. Anyways, I found that interesting. And the Y on it, because we don't have anything but this Y, that threw me for a long time. But what it actually I think it is, and this is speculation, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one, is back in the like 70s, these little engraver things came out, like a little electro pencil they called them, and you could like engrave stuff, engrave things, and it looks just like this when you use one of these things. And what was happening was that local police departments were saying you should engrave your stuff with your social security number or your name or some kind of mark, so that if this is stolen, we can actually, oh, did I just knock everything over again? No, I didn't. We can actually ID it to you. So I think that's probably what happened, is that whoever owned this in maybe the 70s put that on there, probably on all their jewelry, to be honest, so that they could identify it if it was stolen. All right, so we are definitely getting somewhere in our treasure pile. My voice is holding out somewhat well. We're going to put that in our little gold cup there. Yeah, that's nice. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Leave comments if you have any more questions about anything, or you can fill me in on anything that's going on with any of this that I've got wrong, or that I don't know. I have been very much enjoying all the comments on YouTube with these videos, and honestly, that's part of why I'm doing this right now, is because these are the things that I've treasured the most, and if anyone can fill me in on more information on them, that makes these things even more of a treasure to me. So I also hope that you can maybe use some of the information that you're getting from how I found these things to be able to go out and find yourself some treasure of your own.